Good morning and welcome to Musa Walekipe Live. Today is on 10th of October 2022 and we welcome you to have this conversation on our wellness. Kwa ufupi, leo ni siku ile ambayo tunaita World Mental Health Day na it is a day of awareness. Ni siku ambayo ulimwenguni tunakumbuka mambo yanayohusu what we call the mental health ama afya yetu ya kiakili. Na siku hii inasherekewa ulimwenguni mote leo ikiwa siku ya 9 ama siku ya 10 ya mwezi wa 10. Na ni huzuni kwa sababu mtu mmoja katika 8 na tunasema 1 in 8 people around the globe wanaishi na ugonjwa fulani ama kuteseka fulani kwa kiakili. That is what we call the mental health conditions. And we must remember that COVID-19 pandemic caused a 25% increase in the prevalence of anxiety na pia mambo ya depression. Na mwaka huu Mental Health Day inachukua nafasi ya kurikindle efforts ama kurudisha juhudi za kubadilisha na kuimprove the mental health na hivyo ndivyo kulingana na World Health Organization. Na hiyo ni pamoja na innovation and coordinated action that can reverse deteriorating global mental health experts ndio wanasema hivyo. Na tunaambiwa ya kwamba at least mtu mmoja kati ya 8 yuko affected na mambo ya mental health. And the World Mental Health Day mwaka huu wa 2022 is a chance to rekindle our efforts to protect and improve mental health kulingana na WHO. Na kama vile ambavyo nimesema ya kwamba the COVID-19 pandemic alone caused a 25% increase in the prevalence of anxiety and depression worldwide. Na ni vizuri sisi tujiulize, je, tutapunguza vipi makali ya mambo yanayohusiana na usumbufu wa kiakili? Na tunaambiwa kwamba hii sio shida ya nchi ya Kenya. Tunaona ya kwamba kuna challenges nyingi sana ambazo zinafanyika hasa kwa vijana wetu katika nchi ya Kenya. Unakuta ya kwamba kijana anajitoa uhai. Unakuta kijana anamuua mwenzake. Huwa tunasema ya kwamba jambo hili la kufikia mahali pa kujidhuru ama kudhuru mwenzako haianzi tu siku ile ambayo unayofikiria kumdhuru huyo mtu. Hayo mambo yanaanza zamani kidogo, na hii inakuwa ni kama mahali ambapo mtu unavunjikia. Inakuwa ni mahali ambapo you cannot take it anymore. Na unajikuta ya kwamba sasa hapo ndipo inafika siku hili ambayo unasema enough is enough. Na unakuta ya kwamba ukiangalia katika statistics zile ambazo zimetolewa na World Health Organization, tunaambiwa kwamba at least 84 million people walikuwa forcibly displaced by conflicts and natural disasters in 2021, na ni pamoja na COVID-19. Na ukiangalia mambo ama ukiangalia hasa katika nchi ya Kenya, jana tu nilikuwa na have a conversation, nilikuwa naongea na rafiki yangu mmoja. Akaniambia mambo ya vile ambavyo aliweza kupoteza kazi wakati wa COVID-19. Na hii tu ni example moja ya mtu ambaye aliweza kupoteza kazi yake 2019. You can imagine how many people lost their jobs. How many people lost opportunities. Actually, as we speak, I'm one of the people who know that I lost opportunity. I lost opportunity during the COVID-19. Kwa sababu sisi tunafanya kazi ya kuongea na watu. Na unakuta ya kwamba for you to be able to talk to people, you must have a crowd. And because the mambo ya Zoom, mambo ya internet hayakuwa sana yamevuma katika nchi ya Kenya, at such that you could even do a meeting on Zoom. And because before ishike ilikuwa ni shida kubwa sana. Na kwa hivyo ukute ya kwamba kama wewe hukuwa na uwezo kama mwanadamu wa kuvumilia mambo yale yaliyokuwa yakifanyika kutoka mwaka wa 2020, you can bet na unaweza kubaliana na mimi ya kwamba magonjwa ama usumbufu wa kiakili mwingi katika nchi yetu ulianza pale, na ndiposa we need to have this conversation. Tuulizane, what do we do? Kwa sababu mambo ya mental health, unakuta sisi wakati ambapo tulipokuwa tunakuwa, mambo ya mental health yalikuwa yanachukuliwa ni kama ni uenda wazimu. Na unakuta kwamba watu wengi, labda wale ambao wanarokota makaratasi, wale wengine hata wakati ambapo tulikuwa tunakuwa, watu walikuwa wanafichwa in case mtoto walikuwa na any mental challenge, mtu alikuwa anafichwa. But madaktari wanasema ya kwamba there is of course lazima kuwe pana percentage kubwa sana ambayo iwapo madaktari watahusishwa, ambapo ile inaitwa speech talk therapy, kwenda kwa counselors, iwapo watahusishwa experts, kuna uwezekano kuzuia mambo mengi sana, hasa magonjwa na challenges ambazo zinakuja. Na kwa hivyo tunaambiwa katika nchi ya Kenya hasa, there is a very 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 big gap when it comes to the issues of mental health. Na nimesema hili na nitarudia tena ya kwamba katika nchi yetu tunahitaji kufikiria mambo ambayo yanahusu mental health. Lazima tujiulize kama tuna uwezo kama public hospitals kuweza kusaidia watu ambao wanaweza kuwa wana usumbufu wa kiakili, kwa sababu tuna watu wengi sana ambao wana usumbufu wa kiakili lakini hawawezi kujimudu na kupata pesa za kwenda katika counseling. Lakini unakuta ni vizuri na hili ni challenge ambalo ninaitoa kwa public hospitals. There is a difference between clinical psychology and counseling psychology. Kwa sababu kuna watu ambao labda hawataenda hospitali wakiwa wagonjwa per se, hawako katika ward, lakini ile support wanapewa ni kama support ya mtu ambaye amelazwa hospitalini. Na unakuta kuna tofauti kubwa sana ya mambo haya. Na kwa hivyo I think one of the issues today that we must address as a nation, we must address issues of affordability and sustainability, because that is one of the issues that zinasumbua. Ni kama serikali na washikadau ni kama hawaoni ni muhimu umuhimu wa mental health. Kwa sababu unaponiambia cancer, magonjwa ya roho, hata magonjwa madogo madogo kama homa yanaweza kuwa covered na NHIF, lakini mental health mtu hawezi tumia kadi yake ya NHIF kuja counseling. Na kwa hivyo hiyo ni jambo moja serikali lazima we address from the county government to the national government to everywhere, that we must be in a position to allow NHIF to be able to cater on the issues of mental health. What do you think? As I continue, because I can speak a lot, I will call upon us, we have this conversation. Let me know what you think about the issues of mental health in this nation. Let me know, what do you think about the issues of mental health in your county? Do you think it is in order for NHIF to be able to cater a certain percentage? And you'll find counseling in private sector will go from 2,000 to 5,000 per session. And if probably this one can be catered for by NHIF, itasaidia hata wale ambao labda hawangetaka kwenda katika hospitali za jamii ama public hospitals, wanaweza kwa kiasi kikubwa kugharamiwa na kadi hizo zao za NHIF. Kile nataka kupongeza, most of the insurances in Kenya wao wanaruhusu, na sitazitaja kwa sababu najua kwamba tumefanya kazi na hospitali moja ama mbili za kibinafsi ambapo mambo ya magonjwa ya kiakili yanaweza they are catered for in the insurances. But when we talk about private insurances, what percentage of Kenyans is employed? We hear or we get the statistics that over 15 million youths in this nation have no jobs. And this is one of the area that is causes a lot of mental health issues in our country. And therefore, if we do not address the issue of unemployment, and when we talk about unemployment, then you might bet that these people might not also again afford the NHIF card. I probably agree with the government of the day that is time that we make NHIF affordable for every Kenyan to be able to pay. And those who are not able to pay, those who are unemployed, like those 15 million Kenyans that are not employed, if they are not yet, if they are over 18, that means they cannot be covered by NHIF through their parents' card. That one leaves a very big gap, and that means that you might be 20, living in your mother's house, and you might not be covered. And yet, we're talking about the health issues. I have seen actually the incoming CS of health on Twitter, and I've engaged her a lot on these matters. And one of the matters that we really need to take serious is the matters of our young people, because the biggest percentage, yes, everybody can be affected by the matters and issues of mental health, but our young people in this nation are the biggest casualties when it comes to mental health. Think of relationships. Why are people over 40, over 50 years, why are they not killing each other as far as love triangles are concerned? Why is it only the young people? Because the issues of money are involved. And when money is involved, and then you're not mature enough, then that one brings a lot of challenges, and that is why we see a lot of issues with our young people. I'm not saying that they only kill each other or fight or do stuff because of money. Their mental issues are beyond that. But of course, I wanted to underline that the issues of unemployment amongst the young people is one of the major causes of these challenges that we are seeing, not only in Kenya, but also in other parts of the world. And young people are particularly affected by mental health issues. And according to WHO, they say 1 in 7 adolescents, and this is young people aged 10 to 19, live with some form of mental condition. And suicide, and you listen to this, suicide is the 5th most prevalent cause of death in this age group. And that is what we are seeing in this nation. About 45,800 young people each year die. And this one means one every 11 minutes. This one means that by the time this video is about 11 minutes, let me see what minutes we have. We have been here 13 minutes. One young person have committed suicide somewhere in the world. And almost 1 in 5, that is between 15 and 24 years. In global survey for the WHO reported that they often felt depressed. 1 in every 5. That means in every 5 teenagers of 15 to 24 years globally, they feel depressed and had little interest in doing things. And this one is according to the UK Mental Health Foundation. And you see, and when you think that this information is from the first world, I think then you might find that because we don't take serious the issues of mental health in Africa, I am sure these statistics, when you talk about in UK 15 to 1 in 5, that means probably 3 in 5 in this country, our young people might even be more stressed, because the challenges that we are facing here in what they call in quotes the third world, they are not the same challenges the first world is facing. Because a young person in my village where I was born, probably they are not committing suicide, because they don't have a 5G internet. Probably they are doing so because of the poverty index and lack of opportunities in the nation. And according to the UK Mental Health Foundation, half of mental health conditions are established by age 14 and 75% by the age 24. That again is according to the the ratings, the broad ratings. You can imagine what kind of what kind of statistic should be in this country. And the bottom line, because this is just part one of this conversation. The first one, the bottom line is taking action. What action are we taking as a nation? And that is the point of this conversation. What action are we taking as a nation? What conversation are we taking as the church? I know many people would not want me to touch that one. Because the church has become the place where strong people go, the holier than thou people go. But the church was initially supposed to be where broken-hearted people go. Where when you have tried everything else and it has failed, now you go to God. And when you go to God, yes, prayer works, yes, faith works, but again, as a religion, we must not ignore the issues of mental health. How many people, how many denominations take serious the issues of mental health? Sometimes we condemn the what we call the non-Protestants or Protestants, and we call them the rebels sometimes because of how they do their stuff, how they sing, how they conduct themselves. But sometimes I think they're very right, because you will find these are the people who bring experts in their churches to speak on financial literacy, to speak on financial freedom, to speak on the issues of mental health. But for us, who we call ourselves, what do we call them? We are not rebels. We are conservatives. We have a way we follow things. We start with a hymn. We sing two hymns, and then we sing a chorus. We read the Bible, and then at the end of the day, we hear the message. But there are people who will come to the church. They listen to the message. They sing the hymns, but then immediately after the church, you hear they went and committed suicide. Why does that happen? Is it because they were not spiritual? No. Probably they will even go to heaven, I don't know. Because we all have different beliefs of who go to heaven and who doesn't. But the issues of mental health, what I'm saying, as far as churches go, yes, I know experts will come here and will talk. And of course, I hope this this was meant to be a test broadcast, but we are hoping to be back even with this conversation, because my wife is also a professional, and probably she'll come and touch on her view on what she thinks this day we should focus on. But let me go back to the issue of the church. What I'm saying is that we might be talking to very disturbed people. And I'll not give examples because I know what I'm talking about. I'm not just speaking. I know people come to church disturbed, and they might go home and kill each other. And then you keep asking, did faith not work? No, faith worked. But these people were struggling more than it demanded prayers and faith. Of course, we know that Jesus can heal every sickness, and I don't want to get to that kind of a conversation. But what I'm saying is that also the church, also the religion, also even the Muslims and their mosques, they should dedicate time for professionals to talk to their crowd. What does it cost for us to only dedicate 10 minutes? For example, I know many churches we remembered yesterday that today is Huduma Day, but they did not remember today is World Health Mental Day. where we're talking about awareness. And I've gone to very many funerals that are conducted by religion persons. And they say, this we know what the death of this person, they were found at the house, they hanged themselves. Our young people need to be talked to. Who is going to talk to them if it's not you? And if it's not you inviting professionals in your church. Yesterday, I was having a conversation with, it was a short chat with one of my friends on Facebook, and he's from SDA Church. And he said, Musa, I need to organize and you come and have a talk with the young people in our church as far as issues of mental health are concerned. Now this is what I'm talking about. And I'm not saying that it must be me. It can be anybody. It can be anybody who has the skills. We have the skills. We have been here for more than 10 years. And therefore, when we tell you these things, we know what we are doing. For example, did you know, actually, I did not even plan to come and speak about this. I wanted just to do a test, but I always tell my friends when I start speaking, I don't want to stop, because I don't want to break that thought. And therefore, what I'm saying, it's not only about the religious organizations. Let's talk about every organized group. Whenever we get an opportunity for the youth to be gathered. For example, I know in the holiday is coming, the December holiday is coming. And our young people from college, from universities, they'll all be around. One time, I was invited by one of my friends to attend their child's birthday. And the guy told me, Moses, I want you to come. These young teenagers between 13 and 19, they're having a bash in my house. And I don't just want them to just come and enjoy. Come and have like 10 minutes, speak to them about something about life, so that they get sense of life. And I said, this is a wise parent. And there, I got over 25 teenagers. Talk to them about life. Talk to them about financial literacy. Talk to them about the importance of purity and those kind of abstaining and those kind of stuff. This is what I'm talking about. In December, when you're having a mbuzi with your teenagers, look for someone to come and, not to lecture them, of course. The 21st century teenager doesn't want to be lectured to. Have a conversation with them. Ask them what they think about the issues 1, 2, 3 of life. And then have a conversation. And then, of course, in the middle of that conversation, talk about stress. Talk about how do we cope. Because the challenges that the young person of the 2022 is having is not the same challenge of the child of 1960 and 1970. These are totally different generation, have different challenges, and we must, the bottom line, we must invest when we talk about the issues of mental health in this nation. Of course, I've talked about religion. I've talked about there is an importance of the government to recognize how serious this is. If there is an outbreak of mumps in the coast and it is keeping the doctors on toes, it's keeping the government of Mombasa in toes, why shouldn't the government be also on their toes when we hear the news every day that a teenager committed suicide? Yesterday, on the Saturday Nation, actually, there was an article to that effect on, and actually the next time probably I come before the end of the day, I'll come and go through with you that article on Saturday about the outbreak of teenagers in high schools killing themselves, and what the teachers are saying, and what the government is saying, and what the experts are saying should be done. Actually, that will be the next thing that will come with. So let's have this conversation. Let me know what you think about this during this World Mental Health Awareness Day of 2022, courtesy of Musa wa Laikipia Media. Let me know what you think. And Steve says, great conversation right there. Yes, it's not okay to say I'm okay. It's okay to say I'm not okay. and get the talk to talk over issues with someone that you trust. Yes, I agree. Njoroge Tabesu says make mental health and well-being for all a global priority. That is the theme of this year. Yes, and I agree. We must make mental health a priority. This is the end of part 1, and it is 25 minutes. And believe it or not, in these 25 minutes, 2 teenagers have committed suicide. This is how serious this is in the world. Let us make mental health and mental well-being a priority. And in our next session, we'll speak about the challenges that we are facing as a nation. I'll specifically speak on the challenges that the teenagers are facing in this nation, and more so the group that is in high school and college, and what are some of the solutions to this. This is Musa Laikipia, and this is my opinion. See you again later in about an hour. Bye-bye. Let's have this conversation. Let's write your view down here. Let's know what you think. See you in a while.